Okay, so now we're going to do the continuation of the function definitions, this time speaking about extroverted intuition. First, we're going to read it by Carl Jung, and then we will expand with other theories that are similar and finish with IDT's definition after that. The goal was just to make more clarity into seeing how all of the systems are unique in adding their own perspective, but at the same time, they should generally have the essence of what the function actually is doing, mainly from a dominant perspective. Anything that's leading from the dominant will actually change the use of lower functions in lower positions. It becomes more specific when it's lower in its attitude and use, and it becomes more open and free when it's the dominant function. So when that's happening, then you can clearly see or make more clarity to hierarchy. And then lastly, we have the FI definition coming soon. But afterwards, there's a lot of areas in which we're going to focus on, which is how does it look in the real world? A lot of like great written characters and typing those guys and still expanding on the system. If you look into what we have, you'll see that it's pretty well put together. But either way, in Carl Jung's theory of psychological types, extroverted intuition, NE, is a perception function that focuses on perceiving possibilities and potential connections in the external world. It involves a constant scanning of the environment for new ideas, patterns, and relationships, often leading to a sense of excitement and a drive to explore various options. Individuals with dominant NE are often seen as imaginative, adaptable, and prone to jumping between topics in conversation. Focus on possibilities. NE users are primarily concerned with what-if scenarios and future possibilities. They see potential connections and meanings in the world around them and are drawn to exploring novel ideas and concepts. So pretty much, right? The thing is with NE is when it's the dominant function, it's already very fluid and open to those possibilities and concepts. What you tend to see is these individuals are trying to see what relates, but at the same time making quick decisions while jumping to possibilities at the same time. It gives them more access to the ground of exploration, all in service to NE. They are more loose. We're comparing them to SE, which is a lot more focused. When they lock on to things and they can become more intense because of that, NE dominants are quite the opposite. They're not always hyper-fixated on one particular object because they can see potentiality expanding in an intuitive realm. So now from there, let's go to MBTI's definition. Extroverted intuition is a cognitive function that focuses on exploring possibilities and potential connections in the external world. And its extroverted nature means it's directed outwards, seeking external stimuli to spark ideas and connections. NE users are often imaginative, enjoy brainstorming, and are driven by a desire to explore the what ifs in the situation. I like that they added in brainstorming. That's kind of true, actually, when you see NE DOMs or what they tend to do, or even a high NE in general, strong NE. They tend to be good at bringing in different ways and looking at something in order to see more possibilities around it. Now, this is intuition in general, but NE being explorative, especially when it's the dominant function, recreates a new way of looking at things quickly. It's not really slowed down and hyper-focused on those details like what sensation would do. When it's SE, it will lock down on a particular object and focus on the potential of that specific object, making it more intense in its delivery because it's an attached function. Whereas NE is a detached function, it's not going to be locked down to those details enough or longer periods of time in an enduring fashion, like how SE is. But with NE, enduring will make it more acceptable to jump around. Okay, so now going to objective personality, it says any extroverted intuition is a cognitive function focused on gathering concepts and possibilities. Yes, it is associated with seeking out new experiences and information to find patterns and connections. True. So then they have gathering concepts. It's novelty and exploration. Yes. Now, according to Socionics and Wikisocion description, extroverted intuition is an extroverted, irrational, and static information element. It is called NE, intuition of possibilities, or black intuition. NE is generally associated with the ability to recognize possibilities, create new opportunities and new beginnings, recognize talent and natural propensities in others, reconcile differing perspectives and viewpoints, rapidly generated ideas, and be led by one's intellectual curiosity and stimulate curiosity in others. Types that value any prefer to try out an opportunity rather than consider all possible ways in which it could not work. So basically when they're saying what that is, they're comparing NI with NE. Since NI merges concepts into one from the future-oriented view of the world, right? So that what the NE does is opposite. Because it doesn't merge to a single vision or viewpoint, it tends to gather, like what OPS would say, more possibilities within the objective. So the way that Socionics breaks it down here is actually pretty good. And there are contrasting introverted intuition types who pick one option and continue to doubt that option. So this mainly speaks about the differences between narrowing down versus expanding in an intuitive space between NI versus NE. Lastly, an IDT, right? In detached seeker destroyers, NE serves as the dominant pillar function, operating through a perceptual lens that projects outward across expansive, abstract possibilities. NE in a pillar position is continuously linked to an in-service function of TE or FE, oscillating between expansive ideational dreaming within the major arc. NE pillar types initiate by exploring conceptual branching points that ignite curiosity, often destroying what is to be diverse within the intangible spread of potential. NE pillars prefer to keep options open while engaging in a form of ideation that resists premature closure or fixed outcomes. Their perceptual lens is object-oriented but abstract, often compelled by unexplored ideas, theoretical generalities, yet unpredictable, and often seeking to connect meanings across unrelated visual contexts. So there's a lot more to the definition here, but you guys can read this out of the Discord channel. We are working on a website right now. Sorry, it's been taking some time, but at the same time, things that takes time are more careful. And we're trying our best to just be more precise with the information rather than just throw things around, which doesn't actually help at all.